sec here. My book. Oh, I guess you can't see because the camera's not on. So why did I do that? That was stupid. But yeah, my book is called "Live the Passionate Life and Quit Settling for Survival." And it's my life story up until 2000, the end of 2015 anyway. But it's like one of my goals with that was to write this autobiography, and it was gonna be make $1 million, and I was gonna be rich off it and help people at the same time, and it was gonna be so cool. And yeah, I don't even know. I've made maybe a couple hundred off it, and that's not even that's a couple $100 total, not profit. But yeah, it's like just helping people by sharing my story and relating with them, and all my other the other media that I've gotten into since then, social media, YouTube, and now that I'm here at the radio station, a radio show, and you know talking with guests and sharing positivity with the world, and it's like that's what it's more about now. It's gotten away from making that $1 million and calling it quits or whatever. Not calling it quits, but that $1 million is no longer the goal.
So I noticed that you've got a few photos, and on your Facebook profile, you could put your book on your Facebook profile so that it promoted it. You can actually in your photos, you can have key photos that you can show on your profile, and you can help people that way with your book if you like to.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have posted and shared about it, personal stories before about my book, and shared the link because my book is on Amazon Kindle.
Oh, awesome.
Well, it's on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and on both of those platform or sites, it's available as paperback, hardback, and um, on Amazon Kindle, and on Barnes and Noble's e-reader called the Nook. And I've also seen it a few other places as an audio, or not audio, but as a ebook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I've read
it was
ebook.
like super cool. I found it on Google Play. I'm not sure if that's linked to like Amazon Kindle or whatever, but I've seen it on there. So
You could probably put a link in your intro.
yeah.
After the show, I can show you how to set that up if you like.
Oh, and my intro on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I never thought about that. But,
you can promote everything that you're passionate about in your intro.
yeah, that'd be a great idea. I'll have to do that.
Yeah. If you look, what's mine? What's mine do? If you look at my intro, I've got some key photos on there,
Oh, okay.
and I haven't got my latest book on there, but there is a book. This The 6 Steps to Removing Worry. It's a practical guide for women struggling with health. Men can use it as well. And there's some key photos of like John Van Dan. I met him when he was out in Australia beginning of last year. And a few other writers, sort of key people in my life. You might have heard of Jamie. He's been on Oprah a few times. And then Hannah Green is a Lyme disease coach. Yeah, so you can put key photos. There's photo there of me and my girls in the middle. We've got key photos that are important in there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Georgina. There was one other thing I wanted to ask you about. I just noticed here on in my notebook, being a coin merchant. What does that entail?
A coin merchant. So Bartercard have started a currency up. You don't have to join Bartercard, but it's they have their own currency. And when I joined, it was worth 10 cents. And I believe it's now worth about $7. And it's just a currency for trading, a bit like what Bartercard was. It's without all the Bartercard, fees and different things. So I, I accept coin as part of as as part of payment when I do coaching.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's coin shop. There's a coin shop, so people advertise different things on it. It's actually meant for a business. So I think it's really only been going for about a year, and as it goes along, there'll be more merchants on there doing business with coin. I think at the moment it's because it's a asymmetric kind of currency. People are trying to get more of it, so you can buy it in I think 2,500, 500, and 7,500 installments, and I'm not sure if it's overseas, but it's definitely here in Australia. So, yeah, it's a currency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit like I guess it's a bit like Bitcoin. It's just it's a group of people. I gather more people will come on board. As more people come on board, it gets more popular. It'll um, it will take off a bit more. At the moment, it's still in its infancy. It's another way of doing it.
Okay. Yeah. Because I'll have to look into that. I had never heard of this coin. It's Q for anyone watching or listening. It's QOIN, coin with a Q.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had never heard of it or even seen it before until I saw that on your profile that you're a coin merchant. But yeah, I just the other day, I don't know, a week or two ago actually, I've never when I was a kid, my dad bought my brother and I some bars of a few bars of silver, 1 ounce bars of silver in so that we were owners of some silver in the metals market, but other than that, I'd never done any investing at all. And the other day, I finally, I noticed some of my coworkers, for at least a couple months now, they've been, talking about Bitcoin and crypto and all that, and they're into that. So I'm like, maybe I'll check into that. So I went ahead and bought a little bit of Bitcoin and crypto, and, seeing how that all works. So yeah. Anyway, I was just curious about this coin.
Yeah, it's like another currency. If you bought Bitcoin, it was good, and if you bought silver as well, silver's doing very well at the moment, so that was a good investment. Gold probably has been languishing a little bit at the moment because I think there's so much stimulus with money being put into the economy. I think they sort of print money to try and get the economy started. It's yeah, it's good investment actually, and Bitcoin's going up again. So yeah, I think I know it's really hard on investors at the moment because interest rates are so low. So the traditional term deposit for people is really not a viable option. It's not going to bring them much money, but But investing in growth assets like Bitcoin and silver are a good idea.
Right. Yeah, I was talking to one of the guys at work, and we're talking to him about the Bitcoin, and he was saying, yeah, it's down right now, so if you want to get it. And I did, and it's like, then it was going down for a few more days. I'm like, is this good or not? And then it starts coming back up. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, buy the dips.
Yeah, yeah, and I know it's just like it's roller coaster, just like life or anything else, ups and downs. But
Yeah, there's some pretty high profile people that have just bought into Bitcoin. So
yeah,
it's really lifting the profile of Bitcoin,
yeah,
which is
sort
good.
sort of almost kicking myself in the butt for years ago when I saw Bitcoin first coming out. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'll get some, but yeah, I don't want to lose it all, and I don't want to lose whatever I put into this because it's a new thing. I don't know how it's going, and then I just sort of spaced it for until here recently, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at that now, you know.
Well, you can be lucky. I mean, that could be lucky, it could be unlucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Sometimes the best time is to actually wait for the second wave
Yeah,
until you know that there's more support behind something. So when um, in technical terms, when you look at shares, for example, there's a couple of technical indicators, and one's called a relative strength indicator. And sometimes, and I think now is the time when it's kind of probably about that 55% mark is a really good time to buy in. Um, and sometimes we're all geared differently. Sometimes we all have a different, for example, buying strategy. Um, it's, it takes some of us, 10 times before we see something and we get a bit more of an idea about it before we actually buy in. And then there's the people that are more the sort of, I guess, more probably, what I say, probably more entrepreneurial flair that go in and they look at startups and they get into things and they take very big risks. But if you're not a big risk taker, it's better to go in at that level where you can see enough support for the product that you get into an investment if you've got a safe investment strategy. So, we all have different risk profiles in terms of our investment strategy. And it's the same in business, really. People will go into, so they have a better appetite for risk. So they'll go into something that's a more risky venture versus something that's a little bit safer.
yeah, yeah. It's like I was tempted to put double or triple what I put into Bitcoin and crypto. I was tempted to put, even more into it, but I'm like, benefit versus risk. If this is gone, then it'll be hard to get by. So I guess I'll keep that, but I will still invest. So, it's like instead of investing 4 or 5, I only invested 1. Figured I'd play it safe for now and see how that does.
You don't want to put all your cookies in one jar.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Will I put one cookie in one jar and one in the other, and we'll see how those do. Later on, maybe I'll put some more cookies in different jars.
Yeah, that's true. We can put a little bit more in one and balance it out,
Yeah,
balance your risk portfolio. So obviously, cash at the moment is cash has always been a safe thing that sometimes it doesn't inflate at the same rate, or there's also deflation as well. There's safer assets than other things. Like, for example, uh, forex trading is kind of a risky kind of way to invest. But then if you had that, you want to balance it out with something that's um, safer. You know, for example, term deposits or things like that. Your money won't grow as fast. It doesn't have the risk, but it's got that safe side of it.
Right on. All right. Well, yeah, this has been a very cool episode talking about coaching and finance and investing and, you know, life coaching and life in general and being passionate. And yeah, very cool. And I'm just so excited, Georgina, that we were able to have this. You know, you were able to come on my show today and do this episode.
I was excited too, Shane. Not very often I get up at 1 in the morning to jump on an interview. So thank you very much for having me. Namaste.
Namaste. Very cool. All right. Well, yeah, just thank you very much for coming on. And oh yeah. Before I forget, if you want to, do you want to leave your contact info for viewers and listeners?
Yep. I'm at, my email is info@designtherestof.your.life.coaching. And it's all kind of one word. It's a big long one word. My other contact info is I'm on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. So on Facebook, Georgina Orchard. I look like I kind of do now, probably a lot more makeup and hair all poofy. And on Instagram, I'm Georgina Orchard Business Coaching. And I'm also on LinkedIn. So you
Okay.
can find me on LinkedIn.
Right on. I'll make a point of trying to remember. I'll write that down right now, but I'll make a point of tagging you in when I post about this episode. But yeah, I'll put all your contact info on there.
I can add it into the comments of your post if you like.
Yeah, and tag you in there and get that all done. So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on and another episode of Positive Vibes. And thank you all for watching the show or listening. And I hope just remember, as always, stay kind, optimistic, and grateful, and have a phenomenal day and a phenomenal week. And I'll see you next Sunday at 8 a.m. on VT Radio Universal. With that, I'm out. Later.
Thank you. Are you still live, Shane? Oh, sorry.